Yo, what is going on, you guys? This is Gaming with Sal, and welcome back to the channel after almost 5 months of me being missing from this platform. And I just gotta say, man, do I suck at being consistent with my upload schedule. But anyways, today's video is going to be mainly for those of you who have been subscribed to the channel for a while and just kind of want an update on why I haven't really been able to post much content here on YouTube. And as you guys can see by the title and the thumbnail of the video, I unfortunately faced a pretty bad injury and had to get surgery done. Now, before I go ahead and jump into that story, I do want to make it clear that yes, this video might not be for everyone, especially since I'm a channel that pretty much covers Call of Duty ever since this channel started. So for everyone who stopped by to check out this video, whether you're a longtime subscriber or not, I just want to say thank you. And especially thank you to those who have been with me since the beginning and still stayed subscribed to the channel even though I really wasn't posting much. Also, I do want to make it clear that I am aware of everything that's going on within the Call of Duty community as well as gaming in general, and I do plan on making videos covering some of these topics and just giving my overall thoughts about it, even though some of this news has been out for a while. But like I said, just still want to go ahead and give my thoughts and just make more content for you in general. Anyways, let's go ahead and jump into today's topic. So what in the world happened and why did I need to get surgery? Well, unfortunately, I sustained an injury within my left knee. Specifically back in September of 2021, I tore my ACL as well as my lateral meniscus. And for those of you guys who have no idea what those things are, let me try breaking it down for you. Now, I'm not someone who is in the medical field or anything like that, or even professionally trained to talk about this kind of stuff, but I'll do my best to describe to you what an ACL is as well as what a meniscus is. And I'll start off by talking about the ACL. So let's compare our ACL to a rubber band. So basically everyone's knee is supported by 4 quote-unquote rubber bands, otherwise known as ligaments. One of these ligaments is called the ACL, which is the one I ended up injuring. And the purpose for having these quote-unquote rubber bands or ligaments is so that the knee can stay stable. And trust me, you guys, you have no idea how much support these ligaments provide to your knee until you end up injuring them, which I really hope none of you guys have to go through what I had to go through, because yeah, it was like one of the worst experiences of my life and I would never wish something like that upon you guys. So yeah, just wanted to put that out there. Now, just like how a rubber band can tear apart if it gets pulled in certain ways with certain amount of pressure, your ligaments can go through the same thing if you end up hurting your knee real badly. And the moment this ended up happening to me, it just felt like that every time I took a step forward on my injured leg, that my knee would just feel kind of wobbly and my entire leg would shake like jello. It's just a really weird feeling, and for those of you guys who have gone through an ACL injury, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But because of this, I couldn't really run, jump, play any sports, or even bend my knee past 90 degrees. Now, if that doesn't sound bad enough, I also ended up tearing my lateral meniscus. And to kind of understand what a meniscus is, imagine having a cushion sitting inside of your knee. And this cushion pretty much exists so that the bones inside your knee, or your femur and your tibia, don't really grind against each other. I ended up tearing a part of that meniscus, and it was basically on the outside part of my knee towards the back of the knee, which is what the lateral meniscus is. And believe it or not, it could be worse to tear your meniscus rather than your ACL. Sometimes just because of the fact that, one, surgeons can't really tell if they can save your meniscus or not until they actually go into your knee at the time of surgery, because depending on the MRI and just how your meniscus can possibly tear, which it can tear in many different ways, yeah, they have to really go in there to figure out how they're going to end up fixing your meniscus. And let's just say that they can't save your meniscus or the part of that meniscus that tore. Then they would have to actually go ahead and remove the torn part, which increases your chance of having arthritis at an earlier age. So yeah, you can just see how messy this whole situation can get. But for me, I ended up deciding to get surgery on January 17th of this year, just because that was going to be the only way that I can possibly fix my ACL and meniscus. Unfortunately, this kind of injury doesn't really heal itself without the help of surgery. And the only reason I waited so long, because remember, I tore my ACL back in September of 2021 and didn't end up getting surgery until like about 3.5 months or so. And the reason why I waited this long is because I just had a lot of events coming up that I wanted to be a part of in my personal life, such as weddings, Christmas, and even Spider-Man No Way Home coming out. And yeah, you heard that right. I did not want to miss out the chance on seeing this movie on opening night, okay? But along with that, I had to figure out my insurance situation. I was also starting a new job in November, and overall, I was just trying to find the right surgeon. So as you can see, the last few months have been super stressful and a really busy time for me, and it's all because of this messy situation that I was in. So you can already tell why YouTube was like the last thing on my mind at the time. However, However, I am currently about a little over a month post-op at the time of making this video. The surgery was successful and I am feeling much better now and can move around way more than before. And it's all thanks to the physical therapy sessions that I also have to attend. But like I said earlier, you guys, the pain I felt during the first week out from surgery, dude, that pain was like a solid 10 out of 10. Like, it literally felt like someone took a hatchet and just stabbed me in the knee with it anytime I moved. And you know, when I first got injured, the same exact feeling. It just was so painful when I got hurt that I literally felt like I was gonna black out. And when it comes down to post-surgery, I also couldn't bend my knee all that much during the first week because I had to keep my leg elevated. On top of that, the range of motion wasn't really there. And because I had to keep my leg straight and elevated all the time, it took a real toll on my back. And I ended up having to deal with not just the knee pain, but the lower back pain as well. And then also my medicine that I had to take would just keep knocking me out every single time I took it. And I had to take these medicines like every 4 to 6 hours or so that I can manage the pain that I would go through a little bit better. So, you know, when it comes down to thinking back on all of these different events that I had to go through, I'm just so glad that I'm past all of it because, like I said, it was a very stressful time. I was going through a lot in my personal life, and yeah, man, my priorities were just all over the place. So to be honest, YouTube was like the last thing on my mind. So here's the thing. I pretty much spent the last few minutes talking about what happened to me and how the surgery went and the recovery and all that. But I'm pretty sure some of you guys are probably still asking yourselves a question. And that question is, how in the world did I end up hurting myself? Well, when it comes down to ACL injuries, most people end up getting hurt by doing something cool, you know, like maybe playing basketball, football, skiing, snowboarding. Basically anything that can possibly cause your knee to twist aggressively can, you know, cause you to tear your ACL. But majority of the injuries that you hear about are from, you know, sporting events or doing something physically demanding or something like that, right? However, my situation wasn't anything like the ones I listed. The way I tore my ACL was simply because I fell off a ladder. Yep, that is literally the reason. Even some of the doctors and surgeons that I would go visit before the injury, they would all ask me, you know, how'd you get hurt? And I would tell them the story and they're like, nah, you gotta tell people a cooler story than that. But I mean, I don't know. That's what ended up happening. So that's my story. But basically I was helping out a friend move some stuff around his new house. And when I was coming back down the ladder, I missed a step and fell right onto my left foot. And I heard a loud pop come from my knee. And the pop that came out of my knee sounds very similar to that whenever you crack your knuckles, but like 5 times more louder. Yeah, I know, pretty disgusting. And when I fell, I was in immense pain, you guys. Like, I was literally on the ground in a fetal position, holding onto my knee and screaming how I just couldn't feel my leg anymore. Then all of my friends ran to the part of the house that I fell from because it wasn't just me helping him out, it was like our whole friend group. But one of them noticed how my kneecap was also kind of off to the side. And I know this is going to sound a little cringe to some of you, but they also ended up helping me straighten my leg out after I fell. And my kneecap kind of popped right back into place. And then after a while of resting, the pain slowly went away, but I could feel the swelling starting to build up like right there and then. And when I tried to take a step on the injured knee, of course with the help and supervision of my friends, it just felt like I was gonna fall right over to the side. Eventually I went to go get an MRI done, see my physician, and that's when he told me that I tore my ACL and meniscus, and from there the rest is history. So the moral of the story, I am never climbing ladders again. But nah, in all seriousness, you guys, I look at this as the situation of life just happens, and I'm trying to stay as positive as I can be because overall the injury could have been worse than what it actually was, and the same thing goes for my recovery process. Like, it could be way worse, but it really isn't compared to most people that I know who personally tore their ACLs, or just even reading about people online like on Reddit or stuff like that and just seeing what other people have to go through. So I'm pretty grateful for, you know, how I guess my surgery turned out, my recovery and all that kind of stuff goes. And we all make mistakes at the end of the day, and this just was one of the ones that I've happened to make, but I'm definitely going to be more careful from here on out. And I honestly have no choice because these kinds of injuries just take a long time to heal once you get the surgery. In most cases, ACL recoveries take anywhere between 6 to 9 months, and even then it could take longer depending on how much I stick with my physical therapy and how well I do with those, because you need to get stronger. And once you have knee surgery, your quad muscle pretty much shuts down. And I can't really explain to you why that happens, but you literally cannot control your quad muscle for a good while after getting surgery done. And the muscle starts to atrophy because of that, or shrink, which definitely weakens the muscle. And it's important to get that quad strength back because it's going to be able to, you know, allow your knee to feel more stable and feel more supported. And if you fail at getting that quad strength back, you can pretty much tear your ACL once again, which is something I do not want to go through again. So yeah, that is my story on what happened to me, and moving forward, what does this really really have to do with me and my YouTube channel? Well, like I said earlier, this is something that's going to take me a while to heal from, and I have to dedicate a lot of time to doing physical therapy exercises every day, as well as seeing a physical therapist at least twice a week. I also have my daytime job that I have to really attend to, and this is because I'm especially new to the company, so I can't really promise you all that I will have a consistent upload schedule, but I can promise you that I will do my best to cover all the news surrounding Call of Duty or even gaming in general whenever I can. So I hope one day that I can get back to a consistent schedule with my channel and provide content for you all more consistently, but we'll just have to see what the future holds. Anyways, with that said, you guys, I'm gonna go ahead and end the video here. Once again, thank you to all of you who stopped by to check out today's video, especially to those who have shown your support from the beginning. This channel is still far from where I would like for it to be, but honestly, I wouldn't be where I am today without the support of all of you. So hopefully one day we can get this channel to grow more and reach the goals that I have set for it, but until that happens, I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing right now, and that is to do my best. But with that said, I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Until then, take care of yourselves, and bye.